Top of the morning, traders, and happy Monday, February 9th, and welcome to the most value packed live trading show, where we live trade, break down charts, cover high impact events, and talk trader mindset. Hope everyone had a great day. Hope everyone had a great day yesterday. Great weekend is ready to kick off another opportunity-filled week. We're gapping down to open things up in the heart of last week's range. Going into today, ease your way in, get your reads. We're moving about 64 cents per 5-minute candle. IVs returning to some level of normalcy. It's at 25. We were trading above that 30 for a long time here, and right off the bat, we do have that gap down. So this gap down is significant because we're in the jaws of that rejection zone. Again, guys, rejection zone. We're in the jaws of that rejection zone, and we're starting to head to that PML. So that's the power of that rejection zone. Netflix starting to fall off a cliff. We'll revisit Netflix here in just a second. That was one of the ideas provided in our chat. Okay. My goal this week is just to do less. What I mean by that is just be more precise. Less is more. Okay, Google is also breaking down as Netflix broke down, so that means XLC is about to break down as well. A weekly open 689.45. Keep that on the chart. Keep that on your charts for the rest of the week. All right, that's going to be a critical level. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. Long-time viewers, take the next steps, join our community, and access all the resources. And if you missed last week's action, I did put together a video going over all the trades that I took. So that right there gives you a lot of information on how to navigate, okay? VIX, critical to watch that 19. Right off the bat, we're seeing the Q sell off. We're seeing the Dow sell off. We're seeing IW sell off. We have that nice little gap down here. So based off of the sell-off, do we have enough fuel to continue to push the downside? PML is right here. Keep in mind that right below PML is that 50% retrace. 688 is PML. 688 is PML. 50% retrace of that monthly. All right, monthly. Good morning, guys. Good morning. Okay, I'll get that resolved. Thank you for the screenshot. Not sure why that's happening, but we'll get that resolved. So let us know, guys. What are you looking to trade? What's your prime objective this week? Less trades, more trades. Tighter TPs, hold longer, right? Whatever it is, right? So one thing, first things first, we are trading inside prior day's range. Kind of had a head and shoulder forming. So I'm not going to lose sight of that downward compression there, right? That downward compression. We're trading within that PML and PMH. Qs came right into PML, grabbed that PML at 605.35, starting to push. Okay, the Q spies above that daily open, weekly open. Okay, nice push on the Qs here. Is it enough for us to reclaim VWAP? 5-minute orb army. We got 1 minute left. 1 minute left. Okay. 1 minute left. Folks on YouTube, good morning. Let's get the likes up. We started a little late. But we went over everything here. So now we're at that 50% retrace of that gap. So this gap is unique because it's a weekly opening gap. So it's not just an ordinary gap. Weekly opening gaps, okay, they have precedence over daily gaps, monthly gaps, have precedence over weekly gaps, so on and so forth. So currently we're seeing a nice little test of that VWAP on SPY and the Qs, as well as the Dow, trying to get that nice little push. Take this chart here. Give me 1 second. Let me take this chart here. Keep a close eye on Netflix. So IV, IV and all those things we're looking at. Okay, they're returning to some level of normalcy. I like how the VIX is starting to drop here, so you can get above that. 690.13. 690.13 would be critical. 690.13. We just overcame that 690 psychological level. Okay. Right at that 690 psychological level. Right at that VWAP. Okay, we got an inside candle here. Five-minute orb army. Right there. So right at that. We get some. If we can get some synchronized buying across the board, VIX continues to dump. We can get a nice push above those highs. Okay, if we can't get a nice push above those highs, above that 690.13, that encompasses the orb, we can potentially take into that gap fill, very tight window to kick things off. Risk being daily open. I like how the Qs are starting to pick up some speed here. I'm looking at the calls. I like how the VIX is falling off a cliff. See if we can come back and test this territory here. Get a nice little wick. And then potentially take it. The Dow's falling off a cliff here. Right. I'll be waiting for a little bit of confirmation, especially during the first 15 to 30 minutes. Okay, turns out to be a rejection. We'll let it reject. So the Dow is really dragging us lower. The Dow's below PML. IW is below PML as well. So it's going to come down to the Qs and SPY. So can we rotate out of these? Can we rotate out of the Dow and go to the Qs? Okay, see if we get the nice little push. I like how the VIX continues to go south. Okay, it came right into that box. 5-minute orb army. If you're in the Ripple army, you're in that. You took it off that box. You're doing well. So it dropped right into that BOG in that weekly open. See if you can pull back to 690 slightly. I like how the Qs are going as well. Okay, I'll take it right there. I'm in the calls here. My risk will be a daily open. I like how the VIX goes south. See if you get that continued push. Gap fill right there as well. So got to be mindful of that. So BOG, that's that first target. See if you get that continued push. Go, go, go. Did see 8, need that continued push. Now we need to start to go. We need to start to go here because that is a TOG. Okay, so I like how the VIX is going south. So let's see if we can get that gap fill up 13. Take a majority off right there at 13. Fill at 16. Okay, see if that continued push. There we go. I want it to hold above here. No close. No close below there. So I want us to get above 690.58 with minimal hesitation. If we start to reject there, we get below 690, I'll be out of there. All right, giving you a little bit of time because naturally when we do fill that gap, we do get a rejection. I'm going to shift my focus to the 5-minute. Shift my focus to the 5-minute to see if we can extract a little more out of it after taking profits here. If it breaks below 690, we'll get out of there. Okay, I want the Qs to hold above VWAP 607.43. Okay, so that continue push. I like how the VIX is going south. I want to hold above 690.58. There we go. 17. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. Now hold above this. There we go. 21. Take some more off right there. Okay. I want us to hold above that 690.60 in pursuit of that 691 at first, and then eventually 691.45. If we can't hold above that, I'll close out because that can be a TOG rejection. So I want that 5-minute, that 1-minute candle close above it. If you took this, put a $sign in the chat. There we go, guys. First trade of the week. Up 26. Go, go, go. I want us to hold above 691 now. Hold above it. Up 32. There we go, guys. There we go. I'll take it off right there at 32. Okay. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade to kick things off. First trade, if you're still in that, manage accordingly. It might be a good thing that I did cut it because now it'll take off. Okay. So we played that nice gap fill beautifully. Let's go, guys. That's how we do it. Now, if you're still in it, seeing it, it's draw out your NC. All right. Where is an area where you don't want to see price close? Below. We did fill that gap. We're headed towards 50% retrace of that week. That's the old one, of course. But primarily, sticking to the game plan. What was the game plan, guys? Game plan was straightforward. Not making things complicated. That VIX. The VIX was what was leading us here. Okay, the VIX is what was leading us here. So first trade. Played out beautifully. If your NC's here, it's always good to first trade of the week, build a little bit of a cushion. All right. Again, do what you need to do. That's how we do it, guys. How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? How we doing? Gap close. Good, good, good. Good job, Gary. Good job, JB. Just be mindful of each key level. Make sure you have something to show for when it's all said and done. We can see a little bit of pushback up here. A yearly upside breaker is right there as well. Beautiful job, Lisa. All right, always pay the trader, guys. Pay the trader. This is a business at the end of the day. I know we like those nice, huge gains. They do feel good, but at the end of the day, we need to put something in our pocket. So that's what taking profit is. So if you are using those runners, see if you can get a hold above that POC. Okay. The runners are on. Enjoy the runners. Now, yearly upside breaker, 691.55. What was the writing on the wall? VIX. Easy read on the VIX. Okay. Easy read on the VIX. We know where we are here. We're in this jaws, this rejection zone. Right. So now we have that nice little downward compression. So we were able to get involved in this territory here on the fuel back up. And then now, if we can really hold above this rejection zone, okay, it gets PO'd, proven otherwise. All right. Then we have a nice runway into ATH. 15-minute OR army, 2 minutes left. 15-minute OR army, 2 minutes left. So it looks like the Qs and SPY are here. We're start seeing that nice little rotation into Qs and SPY. NVIDIA, beautiful job. You've been crushing NVIDIA for a while now, Carlos. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. How are we doing on YouTube, guys? Folks on YouTube, how are we doing? Let's get the likes up. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. So that's the first trade of the week. First trade of the week. SPY long, VWAP, 1 minute orb break, wave retest, 200 reclaim. Okay, beautiful job, Kevin. All right, so for those of you who were red on Friday, if you were red on Friday, what is the primary objective? Okay, remember the rule. The SAT rule is if you're red and the next day your only goal is to be green, not by force. So that means if you get a first trade, you're green, right? Your job is done for the day. If you want to continue to go, of course you can. But for the psychology, it's important for you to end the day green, because what you don't want to happen is go from red to being green back to red. Right? So if it means you guys are done, be done. We have a lot of opportunities throughout the week. And this is a little steep here, so let's see how that plays out. Let me take these off, clean it up a little bit. So that gap from this morning was completely filled. All right, that gap, that weekly downside, that weekly gap down, completely filled. Orb Army, you're on the clock. 15-minute orb is up, is here. Let's shift that orb here. 691.56. The 15-minute orb on the Dow. Why is my 15-minute orb on the Dow? Not showing. Okay, it looks like the Qs triggered that orb already. Okay. Take this off. Take this off. Clean it up a little bit. Key zone in this case is right here. In this case, you don't want the VIX to go double bottom. If it goes double bottom, that can further support a potential slide back lower. If it continues to slice below those lows, that can trigger that orb and starts to push. Again, know which entry model you want to take. The Qs have already triggered the orb. 609.81 is the orb on the Qs. IW's orb is 264.86. The Dow's orb, for some reason, is not showing up here. Let's see. That's fine. Well, the Dow took out the downside of that orb. So we're seeing a rotation out of the Dow into the Qs, into mega caps. So rotation is playing out during the first shift. So we take it shift by shift. Our job is not to know what's going on for the entire day. It's shift by shift. Get that shift by shift analysis. So far, the rotation story is taking place. 15-minute orb, 691.56 or 57. And look at that. You get this one random candle. This is a shakeout. We saw a shakeout on Tuesday. We saw a shakeout candle similar to this on Tuesday. Okay, this is a shakeout. This is literally designed to anyone who's long above 691 to literally stop them. To stop them out and then go. This is the second time we saw this in the past. We saw that one instance of this last week. I believe it was on Tuesday or Wednesday. So now you want this candle to hold its wick, stay above 691. Okay. Hold its wick, stay above 691. So orb army you have not triggered yet. The Dow's fallen off a cliff. Let's get 20 likes before. What's encouraging on the orb, okay, is this. The orb will also be a breakout. Okay, you'll play that continued breakout here, but you need that hold because now you're starting to create separation away from that zone and early stages of that runway. Once we do break out, okay, I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. Like some tightening on the waves. All right, some key levels in that territory. I'll take that. All right, my objective this week is to try to keep it as simple as possible. Okay, sometimes as traders we can overcomplicate things. So Dow and ES go different ways. Yep, they can go different ways. All of them can go different ways. That's all that matters. You just need that one green, and then now going to the next day, confidence is back. All right, so great job, Kevin, on catching that trade. I'm on puts here, okay. They can go in the different ways. They can go in the same way. It's not showing on YouTube. Okay, for some reason it cuts off on the screen. Every time. So you should be able to see my position I was in the Google Meets. So I'm in no positions currently. I'll get that fixed on YouTube. All right. I have a couple of things to provide troubleshooting for. VIX goes double bottom. All right, this opens up some door. Opens up the door for the bears to start stepping in. All right, so as the bears step in, how much do they step in? Do they step in to the extent where we get back below VWAP? Do they step in to the extent where we just bounce off some areas? Right, a tremendous job on getting those puts. Firefly, I think it was Firefly who got those puts. I think it is, yeah, Firefly. Beautiful job. So now if you're bullish, you want to see where this leads you to. So you're going to have to, we talk about that relationship. How two things can coexist. We're still in that rejection zone here. Keep in mind, all the catalysts, what a drop, nice drop there. All the catalysts are later in the week. So we're starting to get a breakdown. We're below that 690.58. We're below the top of that gap. Okay, we're going back to 690. This is a complete reset. Pump and dump after filling that gap. We'll see. We're testing VWAP 690.50. VWAP in that TOG line here. So let's see if we get that continued push. So if you took this, there's multiple. There's one TP here. There's another TP here. The last TP was in this territory. All right. So then multiple. Whether you TP at 5, 10, 15, 20, 30, maybe you can squeeze 45, 50 out of it on that last push. Maybe 60, depending on where your contracts are, what your entry is. Right? But if you don't take profit, the market will. Someone has to take the profit. Okay? Someone has to take it. It's either you or the market. So the ones who are in the puts, you're going to see a hole below that 690.58. If you can get a hole below 690.58, it already hit that first target. So first target hit from here to here, first target hit. Now you want to see if you can hold below that and start to get to that 690 piece by piece. So 5-minute orb robbery, unless you got that ripple, that aggressive ripple off the open, right? Barely rippled, you probably didn't take that trade. Keep in mind, we are internal to prior day's range. We are internal to PMH and PML as well. Okay? We are internal. We saw days like this before. And if it means that one trade is the one trade that we do take and we got to protect profit, that's fine, guys, for first shift. Okay? So if you didn't see the video last week, I do that with all the videos for myself, but I decided to post it on YouTube. And that's how I go back and review my film, review the tape. And what I did notice is when I went back and reviewed, a lot of the ideas worked out. Right, a lot of the ideas worked out. I'll say majority of their ideas worked out. A couple didn't. But it's the engagement of the ideas, the way I engage the ideas. Right. Some of them took 2-3 attempts. Some of them took 2 attempts. All right. And it's a fine line. There's no real science to it. It turns, it's like an art, to be honest. All right. Over time, it becomes an art. Okay, we're sitting right at that 690. The Qs are headed back towards VWAP. SPY fell below VWAP. IWM still internal to that orb. Fell below VWAP as well. Let's get a quick check on some names here. We'll throw an alert. Below that weekly open there, and then start venturing into some names. All right, so the first half an hour of the market is basically Oracle. Oracle, nice 212 break. Let's go to our usual suspects. Usual suspects first. We are paying attention to SPY here on another chart for our community. All right, so we still have an eye on SPY. Robinhood pulling back. Who's expanding? Palantir. Okay, Palantir, nice break above those highs. Amazon falling off a cliff again. Look at Netflix. Netflix. RIP Netflix. Apple falling off. Google. Google's also starting to break here. But what is the sector we need? You need to fuel this break. Okay, I know it's going to be tough to short Google. So Netflix is ahead of the sector. So Netflix, nice little breakdown on Netflix. Okay, let's get back to SPY. So Netflix broke volume and balance here, guys. Volume and balance. You see it? Skipped a beat. Took the 5-minute hammer candle for a nice 10%. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful job mixing. Your goal is on Monday, guys, just to build a cushion, all right? You'll start opening up the playbook throughout the week. It's the first quarter. You don't need to be aggressive. What were your thoughts on the Super Bowl, guys? What were your thoughts? To be honest, I thought it was a boring game. I know it was defensive, but it just didn't seem, it didn't have the Super Bowl feel. It just seemed like just a regular game. Maybe because I had no horse in the race. Close one runner, 35%. Beautiful job. Firefly taking the target. It hits the 2 targets. Yeah, that was a beautiful call on Firefly's end. Well, what we do know is defense wins championships. Okay, so in that case, risk management leads to profitability. Risk management is defense in trading. So you don't have to be the best quarterback. I think we've said it before. All you need to be is a good manager. If you have a good defense, you can win. Same thing. When you're managing your account, all you need to be is a risk manager. You don't need to have the strongest arm, the trades that go to 300%, 200% every day. Just manage your risk, allocate risk accordingly, take profits where you need to. Strict risk management protocols in place. Okay? Sharp on the discipline, and eventually you'll get there. All right? If you watch the game, the first handful of points were all field goals. Okay? All of them were field goals. Think of it like this. That's trades taking profits 10%, 15%. Put in your pocket, put in your pocket, put in your pocket. And then you open up the playbook and you get a touchdown. It's right there. When you're up double digits and you're holding for more, what you're doing is you're going on it on 4th down. Okay? What you're doing when you don't take profits for double digits and you want more, okay, is what you're doing is each time you're going for it on 4th down. Right? And there's not a single team that's ever went for it every time on 4th down and had any success. Okay. Defense games usually are dull until someone scores. I enjoy the halftime show. I love the Latin Afro-Cuban rhythms. Let's get the likes up on YouTube. Let's get the likes up. Did you guys see Coinbase's commercial? That was probably the worst commercial. I mean, the fact that, with commercials, right, it has to be polarizing. It's either you make people love it or hate it so they can talk about it. So they did their job from that perspective. But could do better. Close final runner above break even. Green is green 100%. And great job on taking it. It goes to first target, second target, scaling out a majority, and then letting the runner do the heavy lifting. If it goes, it goes. If it doesn't, no harm, no foul. Now, keep in mind, guys, Let's not lose sight of where we are. Let's not lose sight of where we are. This is Friday's range, okay? Just to give you some context. All right? This is Friday's range. When you see it visually, this is Friday's range. Within Friday's range, we have that pre-market low, pre-market high. At the top end of Friday's range. And then now, this is where we are. We're here. So now, ask yourself, are we expanding or just moving side to side? So an expansion would be, okay, we get above that PMH and eventually work our way back above that daily upside breaker. We continue the buying we saw on Friday. Until now, there's no continuation. So this is a double internal. Close runner, the dumbest commercial, yeah, the Coinbase. Yeah, that was a waste. You got one shot. The Nike, for some, I don't know if I saw that the Nike Marshawn commercial. At the very end, I did see the Marshawn commercial at the very end. When he was at the one where he's when they won, I forgot what he said, but something along the lines of the get back or the payback a sweet. It was for Nike, okay. I wonder if they had that commercial ready to air already. Because how about if they lost? Would they still run that commercial? Right? So Nike was, because they already shot the commercial. They already paid Marshawn. So in the case they lost, they probably wouldn't air the commercial. I would assume, but I'm assuming that everything that's being aired is already slotted. So probably a lot of people at Nike were also betting on Seahawks as well. Two different commercials. Yeah, I can see that as well. Nice little straddle strangle on the marketing dollars. Okay. Straddle strangle. Just chopping around here. We are seeing this pattern. Put in the chat if this pattern is bullish or bearish. We see this all the time. And what to do in the event it does play out. Okay. Is this pattern bullish, bearish? And what do you do in the event it does play out? That's what we're seeing here. I want to see a nice dump to 685. So 685 is all the way in this territory. So near that yearly open territory. Near that yearly open. If you're just jumping on YouTube, make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. We did take one trade already. Nice double-digit gain. Last runner cut at 30+%. So outside of that, no other trades. Do me a favor. Smash the like button. Smash the like button. And we're closing in on 820 subs. The goal is to get to 3K subs by the end of the month. We can do it with your support. Okay. So at least one thing is good. The one good thing is the IV is come back to some level of normalcy. ATR is still a little wide, right? It's not as wide as we did see on Friday. Semiconductors holding up the market. Super Bowl has been born the last few years. Still have 4-hour bearish fair value gap at 695. Let's take a look at that. Orb Army. 15-minute Orb Army, that is. Your time to shine is coming up. PMH on the Q, 610.68. PMH on SPY, 692. Okay, I like how the VIX is falling off a cliff here. Okay, that can really open up that door for that nice break above 691.65 as long as we continue to hold the support. Nice little shake and bake. Now the 4-hour, you're talking about this gap here. And the jaws that gap. So you can see, if you take a look at the hourly, we're expanding, right? We're starting to see that broadening, I should say. So we hit exhaustion. After hitting exhaustion, we go the other way. Again, if you're playing a broadening formation, it's not something you can just play with zero DTEs. This takes multiple days, up anywhere from 3 to 5 days. That's when you're talking about Jimmy. 15-minute arm you're in. If you're in, manage accordingly. Up ahead, you have that PMH 692. You're on price to blast past 692. That can open up the floodgates. I like how the Qs are above that PMH as well, above that orb. So Ripple Army is in for the win. See if we get some follow through. I like how the VIX continues to slide. Stay below that 17.99 or aka 18. And now let's see if we can continue to expand here. There goes the Qs above 610.58. See if we can hold above those levels there. That's it. Okay, nice little push, 15-minute orb. So that pattern that we discussed here, as long as the support holds, okay, this is a bullish pattern because buyers are picking it up at higher prices, pushing it higher. So there's more demand coming to that resistance. So now, if we zoom back out to the game plan chart, keep in mind I'm not losing sight of this runway. All right, but I wanted to create separation away from it. Create that separation. We'll be there for it. See if you can hold above those highs. Do we just want to go trappy trap? Almost the first wave retest there, but it is retesting those highs on the 1. Nice engulfing candle on the 5. See if that can hold. All right, we're just shy of that PMH. Just shy of that PMH. All right, that PMH right there. We have a daily upside breaker right there. So this thing needs to start to go. That wave can hold along with here. That'd be great. If not, probably wants to grab those highs and start to slide back the downside. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, back. See if you go hammer here. Okay, a nice follow through behind that hammer would be great. Inside count on the 5 here. So we start to break these lows. The bulls can start taking charge. As long as we don't break those lows, we should start to continue. All right, that initial runway is into PMH. Initial runway is into PMH, if we can hold. And it needs to start to break and get above these highs here to continue. So grab those highs, see if, okay, back to downside it goes. Couldn't get that full hold, so ripple potentially stopped out there. So if they want to do the trappy trap on both sides, going into second shift, we know what to look for. So the bulls, they have to keep this support. If this support starts to crack off that last grab, can be an issue. POC is right there. We're at the top end, the top of that rejection zone. Okay, so we need to clear. If we can clear this, we can start. We have takeoff. All right, we're just at the top end, at that resistance right there. All right, so if we can clear it, we're ready for takeoff. We have a runway into the next zone. We'll runway into the next zone. Let's see if we can go. First wave, we got a nice little flag there. If we can hold above 691.57 on the 1, that could be a nice break. If we can, I'll take the calls to the upside. Okay, I'll take it right there. I'm in the calls for second trade. See if that continue to push. Trust in the waves, trust in the orb here. Retest the orb into PMH. I like how the Qs continue to push. Need some follow through. Initial room to 692. So I need some follow through here. Just chop, chop, chop. Okay, up 2. If you did take this, manage accordingly. And we do have a very tight runway. So this might not get us to double digits. High single digit, but eventually that break above That daily upside break or second yellow box can lead us into those highs. Okay, let's start to go here. This is the second target. So again, in this case, we're buying high, selling higher. Okay. Up 11. Up 17. 20. Let me take a majority off right there. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I want to see if we can hold above that PMH. Go, go, go. Go, go, go. We can get above that 692.30. We start to expand on the daily. Nice break. 22. Go, go, go. Hold above that PMH. If you took that dollar sign in the chat, I loved how the VIX is falling off a cliff. No close back below PMH. We need continued expansion. Bulls need to start stepping in. Continue to step in, and we get that expansion above 692.30. We're good to go. We are good to go. Okay, there we go, guys. Let's go. 25, we need that continued push. Make sure you're managing accordingly. Okay, that's back-to-back double digit. Nice double digit. Opportunities. 28. Okay. And take it off right there. All out. Again, 28. Got to take it out at that target. If it gets above it, continues to expand, I'll be there for that retrace back into the first wave. If you're still in it, manage accordingly. You should have more confidence now that I'm out of it. It's going to start to go. All right. So took out 2 targets. That's good for me. Who took that? Dollar signs in the chat. If you took that, that's back-to-back trades. Okay. High quality setups. Again, this week, trying to keep it clean, trying to keep it sharp. I'm not looking to try to hold longer than need to. Just being sharp. Take advantage. 2 targets. You give me 2 targets, I take it. Take a majority off there. Take some more off right there. All right. So Ripple Army. If this is the wave, okay, the waves. If you took the waves, you're in that. All right. What you do with the runners, that's up to you. We all manage things differently. The idea is the idea. Have fun with the runner. Don't play with the full position. All right, that's when the FUD comes in. Okay, so you walk through the setup. We talked through the setup. I love how the VIX is falling off a cliff. We're seeing some synchronized buying. What's encouraging is we're still in the infancy of this push to the upside. So this is still relatively early. So if you missed it, don't think it's it. That's it. We're in the jaws of this runway. So buyers are going to do whatever they can to protect this territory up here. All right, their best bet is the seller's best bet at this point is to trap above that Friday's highs. All right. If there's no trap above Friday's highs, let it continue to expand, and there'll be another opportunity. All right, there'll be lots of opportunities if the environmental conditions remain the same. Okay. Who's in runners? If you're in runners, type runners in the chat. Who's in runner army? Those runners are running. Go, go, go. 5 minute looks good. Just know it can't last forever, guys, so make sure to TP where you need to. Manage the way you need to. So we smashed those territories. So guess what? Up here. So this goes back to what we said earlier. All right. So earlier I posed the question. All right. Here. What type of pattern is this? Okay, what type of pattern is this? And in the case this pattern unfolds, what do you have in place to capitalize off the pattern? So now you know what kind of pattern this is. So the thing we had in place to capitalize off this pattern is a retest. 693 coming up next, guys. 5 minutes still looks good. 5 minutes still looks good. Took profits way too early. No problem, guys. That's going to be a common theme. That's going to be a common issue when you're on our team. Not taking enough profits. Okay. Again, it's a good problem to have. All right. Out of all the problems we can have, that's a good one to have. That's going to be a common theme because when these go, they go. So by no means, so the trap becomes fallen victim to that. $60 IWM call. Beautiful job. Good. So if you're just joining us, we did take calls twice, 2 ideas, both worked out beautifully. 30+%, 20+%. If you're still in runners, this is probably, I got at 71, and yeah, so these are gone. Just know, guys, there's no direct line up. At some point, it's going to take a breather. The nature of options, when it takes a breather, you start to lose a lot of those percentage points. Anyone else take that nice little push? If you're in the orb army, that's textbook. Right? That's textbook. The orb army, that's a textbook wave. All right. If you haven't got a chance to go through the Shockwave 15 course, if you're in the Discord, make sure to go over that. All right. Even if you don't trade that particular way, the frameworks you can extract and add it to other breaks. So that's the core way to trade momentum. Okay? That's the core way. Let's get the likes up, guys. Let's get the likes up. We got 40+ people checking in on the chat. On YouTube, if you're a first-time viewer, welcome to the Most Value Pack live trading show. Education, training, live trading, execution. My position is currently a little bit off on YouTube, so I'm going to fix that at some point in time. But if you are in the Discord, you can see my entry. You can see the open P&L, and currently no positions. So first shift, right? First shift, we kept it clean. We kept it simple. Nothing too overcomplicated. Took 2 setups. If you're done for the day, you took those 2 setups, anything similar to those 2 setups, you can be done. Our primary objective, guys, the whole premise, the whole objective is 1 ticker, 1 hour for 1 consistent result. Don't forget, guys, that's the whole point of SPY strikers. So 1 hour, we're able to find 2 great setups there and capitalize. Coming back and test the wave. Okay, let's get to 50 likes. We can get to 50 likes. Our goal first shift is 20 to 30 likes. We got 42 people on the check-in. 42 people. We're going to run the stream until 11:30, 12. All right. After that, we'll continue in our private Discord. So folks on YouTube, if you're interested in Level Up, take advantage of the February trial. All right. Delay-free, ad-free stream, extended stream. If you have any questions, Q&A, we can discuss. And, of course, access to all the resources. And don't get fooled. Don't think we're only a one-trick pony. We don't only trade. We trade SPY 90% of the time, but we do have a lot of names that I do provide as well. All right, Netflix is on watch for puts this morning. Netflix, we'll check back on Netflix, how Netflix is doing. There's a couple of other names as well. So we do thorough analysis of the entire market. So it's not just we just pay attention to the price action on SPY, and that's it. Okay, nice little, I'm not sure if Mixon is in the chat. So you got that nice little shooter. A reversal candle there. Nice little break here. 3 up. And we're starting to push back the downside. So you can see how quickly, if you don't take the profits, the market will. Where's my TP? My TP is here, my TP is there. Can I continue to hold? Okay, maybe I can extract 35, 40, another 20% out of it. But if you go from 50, 60 on 70, you give everything back. All right. If you can give me 25, within 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes, I'll take that. That's more than enough. Okay. That's more than enough. More than enough. The reason why I say that is because we're trading every day. 60% IWM, beautiful job, Turbo. If you're trading like once a week, I understand, right? You're going to have to make the most of that one trade. All right, but I'm taking anywhere from 3 to 5 trades per day. Let's say 5 on the high end. So 25 trades per day, 25 trades per week. So out of those 25 trades, I don't need 100% return on all those 25 trades. Out of those 25 trades, if I can get double-digit return on 15 of the 25, that gives me 10 trades left. Right? Even those 10 trades, you get stopped up, you're still profitable. Even if you're managing that risk and you go, of course, we can't divide 25 by 2 without a decimal. You go 12 for 12, we'll just say 24. There's still a way for you to be near break even, small red, and even green, depending on how you manage. So out of the 25, all you really need 17 to 18. If you're taking just one trade a day or one trade a week or 3 to 5 trades per week, right, then you want to look at the higher time frame. Then you want to have that longer hold time. Then you want to go a little further out. Right? But scalping, 3 to 5 minutes is the formula. 3 to 5 minutes at a time. Okay. So again, if you're green during first shift, it's a great time to stop. Great time to scale back. We do have a ton of catalysts coming up this week. We will review that in just a second. Nice reversal to the downside on the 5. We're starting to see the Qs sell off as well. That daily upside breaker did not hold at all. No price action combination. Matter of fact, it was treated like a trap. So now when we take a look at it, like we just discussed, guys, the bear's best bet is to trap above that daily upside breaker. That's it. They got that trap. So the bulls, what they need to do is stay above this and try to get a close back above here. Get a close back above here. This 15-minute candle, I might not have enough time the next 20 seconds to close back above there. If they can't, all right, this is a grab of those highs. We start potentially working our way back into the jaws of the range. And now, going into second shift, we're putting some pressure on this support. All right. I'm putting some pressure on the support. First touch. Second touch. Third touch. Fourth touch. Fourth touch of support. Is that a nice little... Okay, there we go. They're waking up. Is it enough? Nice break of those lows. Now we're going back the other way. Right. It is an uptrend, so if you're short an uptrend, your initial TPs should be near those key levels or near those EMAs. And now look what they're getting right there. A nice little push on that flip. Second shift, guys. Let us know how you did in first shift. To be honest, both trades worked beautifully. I can't take another trade here, but I'll probably wait until the PM. Okay, sometimes I'd like to take more trades because I'm on stream, but I can't lose focus of the primary objective as well. All right, if we're done, just be done. All right, 1 hour of work. We can provide commentary for the next hour. Field any questions. Go over tickers. I can continue to provide commentary. And on that note, maybe have one more trade in the afternoon, and then we'll wrap it up. So, again, my primary objective this week is less. Less is more. Less is more. Okay, and if you guys continue to like the video that I post, the recap video, the how to trade SPY options profitably, learn step by step, we'll do a week 2 version of that video, going over the same trades. All right, so everything's happening in real time for your education to see, okay, and where I'm using 0 DTEs. So the people who say 0 DTEs are not possible, okay, there's no reason to go back and forth. Just go watch the videos. Options are not dead. Options are not dead, guys. If Tesla can break and hold 415, it's going back to fourth. My prediction is people get back to options. A lot of people left the option space, but there's going to be a mass exodus, in my opinion, all right, out of the prop firm space back to the option space. We saw max exodus out of the option space, okay, all over the place. So I think it's going to come back to options. Recap video, yeah. So those videos, guys, that's you see me get stopped out. You see me deal with frustration. I'm a human being just like anyone else. But one thing that I don't compromise is risk management. All right. So the formula is right there. So if you do the same, okay, if you can do the same, you'll give yourself a shot at break even. Okay, that's all you need to do first. Get to break even. Learn to float. I don't need you to be an elite swimmer, turn to Michael Phelps overnight. If you just know how to float, or just to tread water, just be able to stay in the water without sinking, okay, you're on your way. Because now it's a matter of learning the mechanics behind how to swim. Now you no longer have the fear of drowning. Okay? Sometimes the water can get cold, right? Freezing cold. Sometimes it can get very bumpy. The current can be strong, but that's where your practice comes in. Your practice and your time in the market comes in. Okay, we're grabbing first shift highs. I want to see how we interact with those highs. And if you do go back and watch the videos, I wasn't 100% all week. Okay, it was 100% win rate. All right. Okay, nice little bounce off that support. Nice bounce off that wave. We're above PMH. We continue to push. So this is the first So the bulls got the job done. They got it done. So what was their primary job, guys? See if you get a close above this level here. Now we create separation away from Friday's highs. Okay, now we're fully in the runway. Okay, we're fully in the runway, right? Unless we see some sort of reversal back to downside. The bulls have control of the 15. They have control of the hourly. They have control of the 4-hour. All right, all the intraday time frames belongs to the bulls. Okay, all the intraday time frames belong to the bulls. So now when you think from a logical standpoint, what is a pullback? All right, so if you think of the higher time frames intraday, if you think of the 4-hour, if you think of the 4-hour, okay, if you think of the hourly, if you think of the 15, I'll just use these three for now, and you're operating on the 1 and the 5. All right, so if these are firing on all cylinders, okay, if these are firing on all cylinders, they're as bullish as can be. Okay, your job is now to see some sort of weakness on the 1. I'll tell you what that translates to. Okay, weakness on the 1 into a key level and a reversal on the 5. Okay, and then now those lower time frames, okay, they go back into continuity. So what this translates to is the higher time frame structure is bullish intraday. We need a little bit of weakness on the 1, gravitate towards some key levels, some pullbacks, whatever it is. Maybe an inside candle on the 5, maybe a hammer candle on the 5 off that level, and you continue to push back the upside. If you're a reversal trader, you're looking to reverse this entire thing. You're looking to reverse this entire thing, especially if you're a reversal trader that's trying to reverse the entire move, right? Some of you put traders, you can take the puts here and here, but it doesn't have to reverse this whole thing. But if you're trying to reverse this whole thing, what you're asking for is the 1 to impact the 5. Okay, the shift on the 1 to impact the 5, the shift on the 5 to impact the 15, and so on and so forth. So if you don't see that happening, and if you're in the puts, your job is to scalp the puts back to downside and uptrend. If not, if you're a bull, you're allowing the weakness to come back into some key levels and the 5-minute to correct back into these higher time frames. If you understand this, you understand trend trading from a mechanical standpoint, outside of trend lines. Okay, you understand what a trend really means. Okay, and look at that, guys. So look at that. Comes right into that the yearly upside breaker. Gets it back above that PMH. VIX falling off a cliff. Let's go back to our game plan. What was the primary thing in the game plan, strikers? What do we need the VIX to do? All right, that was one specific thing. One specific thing. Look at that, guys. 275 after getting stopped out. Stop out is the nature of the business. You're going to get stopped out. When you do get stopped out, just manage risk. If you're uncomfortable with losing, you can't trade. All right, I hate to put it that way, but if you're uncomfortable with losing, you don't know how to lose, right? And you turn into a sore loser, it's going to be to your detriment. You have to become a professional loser. You have to be a good loser. It's an oxymoron. You have to know. It doesn't make sense, but it makes sense. All right? You're not looking to lose all the time, but when you do lose, you have to be good at it. You have to be resilient. You have to know you have an edge. Where does edge come from? The edge is data-driven. The edge is not the temperature, or the edge is not what CNBC says. The edge is the data you've collected and the reps you put in. That's the edge for your strategy. That's why it's so dangerous just to watch videos on YouTube of some strategy and then just put it to practice right away. right? Because you don't fully understand the mechanics. And any strategy can look good in a 15-minute video when the conditions and the environment is controlled. I can do a look back and show you how my strategy has a 100% win rate if I want. If I'm able to pick the data points, if I'm able to cherry pick, I can just cherry pick the areas where it worked and present to you and say, hey, you know what? Look, I have a 100% win rate. But that's not the reality. Because when you're taking your trades, there's no cherry picking. You have to take the trade. So just be mindful of that. So the quicker you realize, all right, the way you manage those losses, to manage that risk, is going to lead you to the wins. The shorter the time becomes between where you are and where you need to get to. Right? If you can't realize that, then the time between where you are and where you need to get to is going to remain still, or it's going to continue to get longer and longer and longer. You're actually going further away where you need to get to. And it's something just as fixing as the way you lose. I know it's I'm putting it very plainly, but that's the reality. You can trade EMAs, you can trade whatever you want. It's up to you. All right, it comes to the point where it doesn't even matter what the strategy is. You can trade EMAs, you can trade price action only, you can trade slap whatever you want on the chart. If you have superb risk management, right, you'll give yourself a chance. And you're not gambling and trading everywhere. You're only trading setup. You give yourself a chance. It's just a game of probability. That's all it is. Okay. Beautiful job. Beautiful job, Harry. Absolutely. And you've been going at it for a long time. Right? And so look how much progress you've been making. In 3 months, in 1 month, in 6 months. So you're going to have that fortitude. And you did show fortitude. And now you're enjoying those profits. Okay. So great job, guys. During first shift, 55% calls, beautiful job. 45% calls, beautiful job. Yeah, I know you have the different, you're watching those different, from different channels. But great job to you, Artem. Right? And especially for the ones who I do have a chance to work with one-on-one. Right? I don't reveal the details, of course. That conversation is between two people. But the ones I've had a chance to work one-on-one with and to see you make those adjustments and improvements, right, is just amazing to see. And this is the whole point of the channel. This is the whole point of everything I'm doing. All right, because when I was coming up, there was nothing like this. Right? There was nothing. And I didn't come up like 20, 30 years ago. Okay, they made everything seem easier than it was. Everything was 100% win rate. One strategy can do this, one strategy can do that. Until you realize, you know what? I'll just figure it out. Just like anything else. Okay, the principles and everything else are universal in trading. All right, so if you stick long enough, guys, in the community, be encouraged. There are members that have been here for some time. We haven't been around for many years. We're still relatively new, right? But it's awesome to see the ones who put in the work every day, who show up every day. Start extracting 200, 300, 500, 600, whatever it is, 50, 40, right? Whatever the number is. We can care less about the number because we know there's a process to get to that number. That number is for you, right? So when you're starting to extract it in that fashion, it starts to make sense. But don't get deceived. The process was what led to the number. The number is just the number. Because you're going to have to keep that same line of thinking when you start going from small account to medium account to large account. If you start all of a sudden flipping your mindset because you're at a new level, right? And you start gravitating away from the things you've done to get to where you got. Now there's another delay. Okay, where you currently are to where you need to get to. There's another hill you need to climb. But the more process oriented you can be, the better chance you give yourself. Absolutely. God bless Artem. That's the exact same thing, Firefly. Right? But if you just continue to drill the process in your brain, just process, you give yourself the best chance. There are going to be some psychological hurdles that come when the numbers start getting bigger. I'm not going to refute that. But you have the process in place. You already know what it takes. You have the protocols in place. Okay, one red day. What's my objective the next day? Get green. Not forcibly, not by taking 50, 60 trades, by waiting for one quality setup and making $1. It doesn't matter what, just $1. Just green. That's all you need to see. So the next day for your psychology, you're coming from green rather than red. So you wait, you pick your spots. So you've already done that on a small scale. You're doing the same thing on a different scale. And the funny thing is, you don't even need to really scale too far. Unless you want to take this to the stratosphere. Or you can just say, hey, I'm at a point where I'm just constantly building a system where I take X amount of capital, I put X amount of capital in my account. By the end of the month, I extract this much out and zero my account, get back to the balance that I like, and take out and just turn it into income generation. Rather than just scale. All right, so those are the advantages with a larger account. You don't have to get 20, 40, 50, 60%. If you can, that's good. That's what runners are for. All right? So it's all up to you once the process is there. It's all up to you. We're currently trading above first shift highs, of course, 698.294. First shift highs in that territory. Those two key levels converge. We have daily upside breaker. We are directional on the daily. We're above Friday's highs. Okay, so game plan chart now. We're in the middle of this runway. Game plan chart now. We're in the middle of this runway. This next rejection zone is 695.43, 698.34. And that's the all-time high. That encompasses all-time high as well. Okay, so now you can see how this got proven otherwise. So this is going to be rejections until we prove it otherwise. Okay, so this is the game plan chart, and those are the levels. Any questions, guys? 100% Firefly. We'll do the end of stream poll 11:30. All right. If you're green, stay clean. It was a pretty straightforward Monday. Pretty straightforward. All the indexes are gone. Let's get the likes up. We got 45 people on the check-in. 45 people on the check-in on YouTube. If we can get to 50 likes by 11:30, I'll do the giveaway. 50 likes by 11:30, we'll do a giveaway. If you're a first-time viewer, make sure to subscribe. Long-time viewers, take the next steps. Join our community. We got the best community. Not because of the trades, that's going to be there. All right, but the kind of people that are there, right? When it comes to technicals, when it comes to the trade, you're not going to beat our team. The technicals is beyond the technicals. All right, so we have a bunch of technicians in there, a bunch of people that watch different things. That's already we have that in the bag. Technicals for SPY, technicals everywhere else. You don't need to worry about that. All right, but the people that you surround yourself around is high quality people, all different styles. So it's not just, hey, everyone trades like me and everyone has to trade like me and that's it. No, we got people who trade 15-minute orb, 5-minute orb, EMAs, different time frames, trend lines, channels. So the diversity is cool to see. All right, we're struggling at the 694 here. 694 struggling there. We do have a nice little runway between first shift highs and, of course, that 695. So, of course, shallow, healthy in this territory. All right, let's put up a poll on YouTube real quick. Simple. Green or red so far. Especially after last week's Thursday, Friday madness, which was not easy to trade. Okay? It was not easy to trade because of the IV. So now you know what the IV conditions, ATR conditions, how much of an impact they have. Even if you traded last week and you lost, you have a sense of how those contracts move when you're in those conditions. So you're just paying for that experience. That experience is so valuable because now you know next time, right, when you do decide to allocate risk in that kind of condition, how quickly the contracts move. So you might make an adjustment. Say, hey, I want to go further out. Hey, I'm only going to look for A+ quality setups. I'm not going to just take 5 trades. I'm just going to take 1 or 2, and they have to be so high quality. If I see them, I take them. If I don't, I don't. All right. So that was on display last week. So answer the poll question, folks, on YouTube. Green and red so far. The first hour of the day, hour and some change of the day is up. The 2 names, let's just go visit our 2 names. We did have Palantir and Netflix. Palantir's out of here. Netflix, okay, it's starting to bounce. Did get that break. So if you're taking this Netflix break, okay, by the time it gets into this territory, you should be taking those profits. All right, because this is an area we can see those bounces. Okay. What else? What else is moving? HIMS. HIMS is moving. HIMS is down 25%. All right, so HIMS down 25%. AMC, Peloton, Coursera, the usual. Biggest winners. Roblox up 10. Oracle, CRWV, Kroger, Hood. Okay, Robinhood. Robinhood looking interesting. All right, so higher time frame, we're going to do that analysis as well. Actually, let's jump over to the higher time frame real quick. We're waiting for a bounce 692. 692.94 between 693 and 692.94 territory. This is a clean uptrend. So the trend is intact. If you're a trend trader, wait for those pullbacks, throw the waves on the chart. So you can see, as steep as it is, it's being held up. First touch, second touch, third touch, fourth touch. As steep as it is, the more we start to climb, this starts to look like another pattern. Put in the chat, what pattern does this look like? What pattern does this look like? And is that pattern, if that pattern plays out, is it a bullish or bearish pattern? Okay. A, what pattern does it look like? And if that pattern plays out, in the case it does play out, is it bullish or bearish? Okay. Bullish or bearish. If you're waiting for a 9 EMA test on the 5, still got to wait. This is synchronized buying across the board. We're seeing the Dow pulling back here on that on the 5. Dow made new all-time highs once again. IW's out of here as well. So IW out of here. Synchronized buying to kick things off on this Monday. Synchronized buying. So the reversal is fully in effect. Late day. If this thing continues to push forward, late day, right, there can be some swing opportunities depending on how things look late day. Okay. Let's get the likes up, guys. Let's get the 30 likes. We got 23 likes. Let's get the 30. The 50 likes, we'll do a giveaway. 6-hour day trading course. Getting started trading options. If you're interested in purchasing that course, you can as well. We do have a bundle available. We'll go over all that at 11 o'clock. All the patterns we discuss are discussed in there as well. All right. So full comprehensive breakdown of the patterns. The most important patterns, price action, you name it, we got it. You name it, we got it. Okay. As bullish as can be. So the pullbacks, the shallowest pullbacks are going to be available on the waves, guys. 1 minute wave. Flags off the wave. I mean, I'd like to make it more complicated, but that's what's going on. Tesla 417. Let's take a look at Tesla. So this is intraday analysis, guys. Intraday analysis. Tesla, we had Tesla on watch. A lot of our team members crushed Tesla on Friday. Okay, so shout out to everyone who caught Tesla on Friday. There's a couple of setups that slipped my fingers last week. This week, I'm going to have a good grip on all those names. Tesla, nice push on Tesla. Tesla did break that 415. So the area where we're telling the team to get involved was a hold above this here, reclaim hold territory. And that continued to push higher. Tesla's gone. Tesla's now breaking above this level, looking to open up this. Looking to open up this nice little leg of the push into this territory up here. Tesla's ripping and running. All right, so if you're in Tesla, congratulations. If you're not, set an alert between 413.85, 415.62 and see how it looks. If it looks bullish in that territory and buyers start stepping in, bullish price action, there can be some nice activity back the upside. Right now it's in the midst of that push higher. Tesla's starting to go. How's our friend NVIDIA doing? NVIDIA, nice push on NVIDIA. Okay, NVIDIA, nice push. NVIDIA's coming to some resistance here. Okay. You can see NVIDIA every time it comes into this territory. Okay, rejection there. Rejection here. Okay, now it's here again. One thing that's encouraging for the semiconductors, guys, is we're directionals to kick things off. It's early in the week. We're directional. NVIDIA is trading above that weekly upside breaker. So there's two things to do here. Two things that you can do as a bull. One is if you're already in, you're in for the win. Two is UPO. Prove this territory otherwise. Okay, in that case, that opens up the nice door into that all-time high. Now let's kind of zoom out on NVIDIA. So this is where it is. Okay. It's a major resistance. So if this resistance doesn't start resisting, okay, and we get a UPO, gets proven otherwise, it goes from UPO into PO. Okay, the retest, prior resistance turn into support, opens up into 198.60 territory. But look where NVIDIA is coming from. Okay, so again, you got to block out the noise. Whenever there's an aggressive sell-off, block out the noise. Focus on the charts. A lot of traders lose money because of noise. Listening to news, having 5-6 people they follow on X, watching 10-15 different channels. Okay, stick to one or two. Primarily use your own analysis. Because here was NVIDIA. All right, so now what you're solving for is, do we have enough fuel off of those lows to get into this territory, break this major resistance, and continue? All right, so that's the camp you're currently in then, if you're looking to take NVIDIA for more upside. So just be aware that is resistance. So you need that resistance to get proven otherwise. Okay, what are some other names? SPY just continues to grind higher. Okay, it's grind higher. There's no pullback yet. I need a healthy pullback at least. Robinhood's starting to wake up. Palantir's out of here. 212 on Palantir. Amazon. Okay, Amazon's starting to show some signs of life. Netflix. Okay, nice breakdown on Netflix. Bouncing off that territory. Let's go to the one. Meta. So communications is stalling here. JPM up 1%. Nice break on JPM. Okay, another breakout on JPM. JPM looks like it wants to head to that territory up there. You can see JPM. Beautiful, beautiful inverse head and shoulder on JPM. Okay. Took some time to play out, but inverse head and shoulder there. Apple starting to pull back slightly. Apple is at resistance here. Apple was ripping and running last week. All right, so if you're on the Apple train this week without doing your due diligence, okay, the train has arrived at its destination. And now it's starting to go the other way. So Apple is directional. Actually, it's not directional on the weekly. Okay, so that 50% retrace on that weekly on Apple will be interesting. All right, so does Apple start to continue to tumble to the downside? Tesla, okay, is working its way to 420. We talked about that. Google did trap those shorts below here. That was a nice trade to the downside. If you're like on the 1 minute for a scalp. Outside of that is a trap. All right, if you're looking bigger picture, that was a trap. So now Google has a chance of going 3 up on the daily. Walmart pulling back nicely. See if Walmart can continue to pull back. Okay, the pullback territory on Walmart, you can start to expand it slightly. Walmart was another name as well. Alerted to the team. Way before it made that massive push. Okay. AMD starting to wake up there. NVIDIA, of course. NVIDIA resistance. Broadcom up 3%. It did break. So Broadcom did break above that major resistance. So NVIDIA is right at that resistance. Broadcom already broke. So now Broadcom, to see if we can treat this as support until proven otherwise. Okay. We just go with the price. SoFi starting to recover. Nice recapture of 20. It's at 21. Oracle up. Lilly up. Lilly actually nice rejection again. Microsoft. Is Microsoft finally going to start to move? Okay, Microsoft. See it starts to wake up. Okay, that's pretty much it for our major names. Okay, Bitcoin. Bitcoin 70K. It's trading below 70K. Okay, that's alarming. Silver 82. Gold back above 5,000. What did we say this morning, guys? When did we talk about picking up some gold? Okay, so last week, 2 weeks ago was the pickup. Gold is gone. Breakout on gold. Good night. Okay, it's only gonna get more expensive, more expensive, more expensive. Okay, this was the opportunity. Okay, so when you're buying the dip on strong names, not just names that get beat up, you're gonna face a little bit of uncomfortability because the headlines, everything is gonna write it off. But if you trust the technicals, okay, you can live with the results. If you do your due diligence, you can live with the results. So gold is gone. Now gold is back above 5K. People are going to start talking about gold once again. So we're at the top of this channel on SPY. See if we can continue to push. Maybe we might start pulling back here. Interested to see how we interact with that 694. We are overextended, of course. You guys can't hear? Analysis paralysis, 100%. How's the audio on Google Meets? Did we lose audio? Done for the day, up 20%. Beautiful job. A pullback to the 20 MA on IWM would be nice. So if you're looking for those pullbacks, mark them out. Mark them out. Put an alert. And when it gets that territory, assess. How does the environmental conditions look? Is it worthy of engagement? Okay. So first shift is in the books. No trade so far in second. Second shift was just continued expansion. If you just decided to hold those calls from the very open, right, you can enjoy that appreciation. But we did take calls twice. Audio's good. Okay, good. Absolutely, guys. If you're done for the day, tremendous job. 1 down, 4 to go. The less mental capital you can use today, the better. Okay, the less mental capital you can use today, the better. Yet last week was draining. It wasn't easy, but we still navigated. All right, so no week is going to be easy. I'll tell you that. There's always going to be a challenge that comes up. But last week, okay, it was the volatility came into the picture, okay? The injection of volatility. And we're seeing some nice little pullback on the 5. Let's see if we get that nice reversal with a continuation. Back the downside. This is natural in an uptrend, of course. As we gravitate towards that 9 MA, we have that clear separation away from it. Nice buy block right here. So you get that nice push into it. And that 9 for confluence. This does potentially open up the door for some shorts. To the downside, reverse this whole thing. Maybe not, but you're trying to take it in an uptrend. But this channel is starting to get tight. This is a bearish, although it's a bullish channel, right? This is signs of exhaustion, signs of less buyers stepping in. Or all the buyers that are stepping in, they're stepping in higher and higher and higher. And they're making less of a move to the upside. All right. On the daily, the bulls did their job. As long as we remain above 692.30 for the rest of the day, or we close above here, they did their job. They did their job. Okay, they did their job. Folks on YouTube, check out this quick clip that goes over all the features of our premium community, and we'll be back on the other side.
Tired of wasting hours staring at charts, over-analyzing trades, and still ending the day with inconsistent results? You're not alone. That's exactly why the SPY Strikers Trading Mentorship Discord community was created. Here, you can trade just one ticker for 1 hour and make strides towards consistent results. Join the SPY Strikers community and get daily live trading, clear pre-market game plans with key levels and high probability buy and sell zones, over 4 hours of delay-free, ad-free live trading and training, plus high win rate trade alerts, automated technicals that simplify charts, and full access to my strategies and indicators. This isn't a signal service. It's a community focused on process over profits, giving you all the resources, guidance, and training to help you succeed. You'll also get a full watch list, 1,500 plus hours of live trading videos, courses, an educational library, ebooks, and dedicated support. Stop guessing. Start trading with confidence. Become a SPY Striker today, and take your trading to the next level.
Okay, welcome back. If you're interested in joining our community, go to smartactiontrain.com. If you're interested in joining our SPY Strikers community, there's 2 ways to do it. smartactiontrain.com. That we do have the SPY Striker Lite and the Apex. Apex, you have access to the entire server. Lite, you have access to the game plan. You have access to the trade zones, post-market recap, all the prior live trading episodes, the monthly chat, and of course the delay-free audio stream as well. You have that access to that. If you're in the SPY Striker Apex, you have access to all this stuff. So delay-free, ad-free stream. You have access to the pre-market prep at 9 a.m. You have access to all the features of our server when you do join the SPY Strikers Apex. If you're interested in any of the courses, all the course material is here as well. Take advantage. The 5-hour Get Started Day Trading course. The ones in the community have access to all this stuff that's available to you. The ones not in the community, the ones on YouTube, looking to get properly educated, properly trained, and cover the fundamentals or cover any gaps in your understanding you may have when it comes to day trading options or day trading mechanics and technical analysis. This is the best way to go. One is a strategy course and one is a getting started day trading course from basically zero to market ready. If you're interested in booking a coaching call, make sure to do so. Ebook that's available, and of course SAT merch. Grab your merch as well. So we do have new merch. I'm going to update the site. Get your merch, get your mugs. We do have backpacks now as well, the Under Armour backpacks. I'll show you guys real quick. And new t-shirts. Okay, so wherever you are, make sure to join our community. Take advantage of all the resources. If you're still relatively new on YouTube, continue to enjoy the YouTube stream. But if you've been watching for 3 to 5 episodes, take the next steps. Take advantage of the Feb trial. So let me show you the new... I just got to update my site. Okay. Pull it up. Okay, we're starting to show a little bit of weakness there. If we can get back below that 694. Okay, here it is. And all the links are provided in the... Okay, not that one. 1 second. One second. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. So this is the latest merch. Under Armour backpack. Okay, nice travel backpack. Okay. Got a journal as well. And the new t-shirt. Process over profit. Process over profit t-shirt. And of course the textbook, the classic SAT Power Up mug. All right. So these are just different ways to rock the merch, support the channel. All right, it's not a money grab. So if you enjoy the content, if you enjoy the channel, ways to support are through YouTube and through the merch. Okay. So the process over profit tees are out. Under Armour backpack are out. A lot of you do travel, so it's a really good, high quality backpack. Look at the VIX. I want to bring this chart to your attention for the strikers, guys. There was one thing we were paying attention to. Today we did a tremendous job sticking to the game plan. Okay. So, do you guys recall this chart? The VIX. We laid out the blueprint. On Friday, kind of got away from us. Sometimes it gets away. You might not be fully locked in, but we can always capitalize and come back. So there you go. That trip it took from 19 all the way to where it is now, very similar to what took place on Friday. First hour dump, entire point. First hour dump, almost an entire point, but to this target. Second hour dumping so far. So if you want this thing to continue, you need this to continue to dump. This has room to 17. Okay? As long as you can hold it below these lows into 17. This was the game plan. Here we go. All right, look. SPY, out of here. Qs, out of here. Our bird's eye view chart. Bitcoin. We talked about how Bitcoin is directional, holding below those levels. Bitcoin needs to hold below 70K. Or the bulls need to get back above 70K. That's going to be the most important level. Gold. So multiple breakouts from this morning. Gold, out of here. About to hit that target. Okay. And the VIX open up the door. And of course, last but not least, crude also breakout. A lot of breakouts. Okay, especially with the Qs and SPY and gold. Those took off today. Since we're here, let's take a look at the calendar. Core retail sales today. Today, very quiet week, a quiet day. Tomorrow, retail sales. Wednesday, non-farm employment change. Thursday, unemployment claims. Friday, CPI. So 1 day of minimal noise. And then the rest of the days we have a catalyst. And then looking forward, we do have FOMC minutes, unemployment claims, GDP, PCE, so on and so forth. Okay, so a slow grind higher. Take a look at the ATR, take a look at the IV. So if you take a look at the ATR and the IV, we're back to normal. Okay, back to some level of normalcy. Okay, normal always changes. Normal is relative. Okay. Normal is always changing. So it's just relative normalcy. We have our predefined range where we want to see things trade within. To define what normal is, ATR is 65, IV is 15. So those contracts are trading. So we were 20% higher last week. 20% higher. ATR was twice as much. So we were moving twice as fast, and the contracts cost not twice as much, but they cost significantly more. Love trend days. GLD, silver, SPY traded all really low to CLV. Beautiful job, Fido. So if gold is moving, more than likely SLV. If I said CLV, I'm going to say SLV. So answer the poll question, folks, on YouTube. We're about to wrap up the shift. So far this shift, we did see a nice continued push. So we broke above the prior shift highs, continued to expand. That's what we saw, an expansion. Are we due for a nice little retest of that daily upside breaker PMH? Sure, that can provide a nice little opportunity. I'd say that's healthy. We have something in between that. We have shallow here. Late day, it's gonna be really depend on what the market looks like at 2:30 to the close. Between 2:30 2 o'clock to the close, it's gonna be very, very interesting to see what happens. So we did see the first half of the day, or the first chunk of the day, we just saw expansion. Okay, if we can just boil it down to what happened, we saw expansion. So now do we get some sort of midday slowdown? Okay, midday slowdown. Just chop, chop, chop. B, just midday slow grind expansion. Just going to be slow grind higher. I can't put a letter on that. Okay. So we'll do this. So A, midday slowdown. B, continued expansion. Midday slowdown. We get some traps on both ends. And C, do we see a complete reversal? Reversing what? The majority of the move we did see beyond 50% retrace of that first leg or that entire leg. So expansion took place. All right. Midday, these are the things that can potentially happen. For each of these things, you should have trade setups associated. If you're going to continue to trade, you should have trade setups associated with these three different scenarios. Late day, okay, by the end of the day, close to power hour, based on what takes place during this midday will lead us into power hour. So by the end of going into power, I should say, all I want to see, I'm going to remain bullish as we remain above that daily upside breaker. Okay, that translates to 692.30. We can stay above that until the latter half of the day, all right, into the close, the last hour, hour and a half. Okay, that tells us on the daily time frame, I want to take a look at it. I want to take a look at some individual names. We can see a potential, maybe a continued push higher next day because we're now in a continuation mode. Okay, I don't usually take swings on a Monday, right? But we can potentially see something from Tuesday to Wednesday, Wednesday to Thursday, right? I usually like to go Wednesday or Thursday into Friday, but that's gonna be critical. So what do you think is going to happen? Put in the chat. Are we going to continue to push higher? Okay. Are we going to start to A? That's B, scenario B. A, are we going to start to chop around for the rest of the day into power hour? Or C, are we going to start reversing back the downside? So A, chop. B, continue expansion, slow grind higher, and C, we start to reverse. So reverse meaning we reverse the trend. We reverse the MAs. We get back below VWAP. We get back near the open. So we get back below 692.30. We get back below this territory. And this pattern really starts to play out. All right, so put in the chat which scenario you think is going to take place. And based on this scenario playing out, you should have a setup associated with this scenario. So in this case, if I'm looking for this scenario, if I'm looking for C, just an example. If I think C is going to play out, the fact that I think C is going to play out means nothing. Okay, if I think C is going to play out, I have some parameters around C playing out. And then if it does play out, I have a handful of things I want to look for to engage. All right, so just because it's playing out, it doesn't mean you can trade it. There's ways you need to trade it. If I want B to play out, okay, I'm looking for B to play out. Okay, when it starts to play out, I have a handful of trades I want to take that align, that coincide this narrative. Same thing. So that's going to be the most important thing going to midday. If I think A is going to play out, then chop setup, trampoline brick wall, grabs the highs, grabs the lows. But the cool thing is, if you did your work here in first shift, second shift, you don't have to do anything. Or second shift and beyond, you don't have to do anything. Matter of fact, you don't have to do anything the rest of the day. This is just for people who are trading from 11:30 all the way, okay, to 2:30 within that window. This is what you're going to be tasked with. Okay. So the people who trade first, second shift, your work is done. So now don't go here and then start playing this ABC game and giving back capital. You already did your work. Okay, you already did your work. Okay, so we got C, we got slow grind higher, but it's truly a guess. Go back down halfway. All those things are very possible. So there's no one way of saying this one has to take place, this one has to take place. All we can do is say, hey, you know what? Either one of these things can take place. And it can be a combination of these things. But in order to trade it, what things do we have associated with those scenarios? And then based on that, you can take a look at, you can take advantage of those setups. Because if you don't have that line of thinking, you're going to be just trading random action in the middle of the day. Okay? So just be aware of that. For the ones who are green, strikers, you're done for the day. Highly advised. Best practice would be that. We do have a long battle ahead of us. Okay, we have 4 days. So if you're able to start off your week green, it's always a good way to start out the week. Tremendous job. Tremendous job. I will do the end of stream poll here at 11:30. Remember, our objective is 1 hour. Okay, if you can narrow it down to 1 hour, you can find something within this hour. If you narrow your universe down in the beginning just to this hour, okay, just think of it, there's 60 1-minute candles. Out of these 60 candles, you need to have a system or an ability to get 3 to 5 of the candles right. That's it. You don't need to get all 60. If you can get 3 to 5 of those candles right out of this series of 60, right? That's it. Just rinse and repeat. And when you're wrong, just make sure you're wrong for maybe 3 to 5 candles or 2 to 3 candles. If you're at a 1-to-1, it's going to be the same. If you're less than that, if you're at 1 to 2, you want more. So you don't want to be wrong for 2, 3 candles or beyond. That's what it's going to boil down to. Okay. Man, what a push. Especially this last bounce right here. Completely took off. Completely took off. Take a listen here.
Big lenders in the United States to be able to provide more loans to the mainstream for people who are working very hard and needing to meet their kind of like obligations, and Pagaya is stepping there for them for subpopulation.
Okay. He's not saying much. My hourly traders, there's no interruption. Just continues. The party continues. $12-hour engulfer. 4-hour, nice push. Another 4-hour return on the orb. Beautiful job. Did you hold for the entire 4 hour? If you did, tremendous job. Okay. And go take a look at Chill Ideas. All right, he does a tremendous job on that channel, posting all the orb data there, guys. So if you're looking for a strategy, if you're looking for something to trade consistently, scroll through there. Shockwave 15 series will help you as well. But the data is there. The data is there, but you just have to know how to use it. How to be aware of the fake outs. Two hours more than, there's plenty. 2 hours is plenty. We do have that 694 right there. 694. Let's get the likes up on YouTube, guys. If we can get 40, 50 likes by 12, we'll do the giveaway. We're basically wrapping up the stream here unless you guys have any questions. Any questions on YouTube, let us know. If not, we're going to look to wrap up here. We'll go over the trades we took. Maybe we'll do a chart replay, do a quick breakdown, quick analysis, and then look to wrap up the stream on YouTube. We'll continue to stream in the community. If I do see any opportunities, we'll share those opportunities. So 70% of the chat on YouTube is green. Let's do the poll for our strikers as well. Okay, Pagaya, that the company, that's what it's called. Okay, poll is up, team. Poll is up. 2 trades on my end. Again, if you're green, the biggest threat to your green is greed. The biggest threat to your green is greed. Yeah, the weather here is actually cold. It's actually been very cold. I mean, that doesn't mean much. Let me check the temperature. Okay, let me give you the exact 34. But it started off this morning at 16, 17. Starting to warm up. So relative to this area, it is cold. It's actually not this cold seasonally. This long usually starts to warm up. I would say this is probably the coldest year we had in some time. UNG, let's take a look at UNG. So now I'm going to be done for the day, guys, on SPY. Okay, done for the day. Unless there's some lottos in the back end, right? Those are just lotto trades, maybe late day. Outside of that, done for the day. Okay. So if you're done for the day, put done for the day in the chat. We might not even take any lottos. All right, let's preserve some mental capital for this week. Okay, UNG. Let me pull up our master chart. If you're done, answer the poll question. And if you haven't already, strikers, make sure to leave a testimonial. If you joined through Gumroad, leave a review on Gumroad. If you join through WAP or Whoop, leave a testimonial there. Leave reviews. All right. My job always is to over deliver day in and day out. Over deliver day in and day out. So your testimonial, your review, honest review, allows someone else to see what we really got going on. Okay. So UNG. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG, nice little gap down in UNG. That daily chart. Yeah, it is near those lows. I can see that. Maybe diverging. Yeah, we're seeing a little bit of divergence on the weekly. If you trade UNG from a seasonality standpoint and you have a good understanding of it, there can be an idea there. But full transparency, I've never traded UNG before. But what we do know is it's trading below those EMAs. As far as SPY is concerned, let's take a look at SPY on the daily. All right, so now this is why you got to block out the noise and stick to the charts, because now there's another. This is now continuation mode. we are in continuation mode now. Every dip is being bought up. Okay, so all this fear mongering, okay, is making people lose a lot of money. A lot of people are, so you have to just be locked in onto the chart. The chart's not going to lie to you. Okay? Price doesn't lie. It can manipulate, but it's not going to lie. Now look. Everything makes sense in hindsight. Or people are going to start drawing the pattern. Oh, there's a double bottom here. Oh, the 100 EMAs there. Oh, we broke it. All right, now it's all the way up here. Okay, now it's all the way up there. See you tomorrow. Okay, if you guys are logging off. Okay, answer the poll question. Now, we're within striking distance of all-time highs. We're back near the top of that channel. Okay, so on the weekly is not triggered yet. So the weekly participants are not there yet. Okay, this is exclusively available to everyone who's operating under the daily. The weekly, not there yet. The monthly, still intact, despite the fact that we took out those lows. That was a nice little trap. Got the bears excited to trap now. Because guess what? If we take out this high, if we take out that 697.84, if we make a new all-time high at any point in the next 18 days and 6 hours, in the next 18 days and 6 hours, I'm going to be as precise as possible. This monthly candle will go engulfing from the standpoint of 3 up. Of course, the open is not lower, so it's not technically engulfing, but the range is engulfing January. And that's as bullish as can be. So going into March, we can really start to march forward into March. Okay? So look at the wicks on these monthly candles. So it's basically any time, okay, make sure you make note of this. Anytime the monthly low is taken out, okay, anytime the monthly low is swept, it's not what I feel. It's what the buyers are telling us. Anytime the monthly downside breaker is swept, okay, we get aggressive action for the next month to the upside. On top of that, you have optimal entry. So this is something you're going to play 3 to 6 months out. Because guess what? Look at this. We saw this take place in November. November, if you recall, November, we took out October's lows. All right, we took out October's lows. Oh my God, sell, sell, sell. We trapped those shorts. We dragged them all the way up there. And we went hammer. And since October, every month we made all-time highs. Since November, every month since November, we made all-time highs. And this month we're on schedule to make all-time highs possibly as well. So 2 months after that, this monthly candle is still there. So we're basically going our third consecutive month of all-time highs. So same thing is playing out here. All right. So from that standpoint, okay, we grab those lows, that prior month's lows, and then there's a lot of buyers there. That's where they are. They're not hiding their hand. How often does that happen? It doesn't happen often. Okay? So there's a second time it happened. Once this candle closes out, we'll see how it plays out. Okay? It happened here. Before that, we were on this massive expansion. Okay? Bulls were on an expansion tour. All right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 months. Okay, that's a nightmare for bears. That's a nightmare for people who are going short. That's a nightmare for people calling the top. There's one thing to call the top, have a horse in the race. One thing to call the top is to call the top. If you have a horse in the race and you're calling the top here, unless you have unlimited funds, you're no longer with us. Okay? So this is as bullish as can be. I can't emphasize that anymore. And of course, I have a little bit of bias. I am bullish, bigger picture on the stock market. So that might be impacting my view. But from objectively as possible, when I take a look at this, we can see what's going on. Okay? By the end of the year, don't be surprised if we get to 900. 800 to 900. That doesn't mean go place your bets and take leaps. All right, we only covered intraday activity, but just keep a close eye for 800, 900. All right? We'll see. Okay? But of course that would be wonderful for the long term. Everyone's long-term portfolio. All right? We still have a long way to get there. But we'll see how things play out. That might be a little aggressive. All right. Maybe 780. 780 maybe. 760, 780. 900 might be a little too aggressive. All right. Okay. So that's the recipe. So what does that mean? What does that translate for us on the lower time frame? Anytime we get into the grab prior month's lows, typically that translates to a 50 EMA, 100 EMA touch. This was the last time in November. 100 EMA touch. Close to 100 EMA touch. All right, so we've never got below the 100 EMA ever since that parabolic push, since the tariff time. All right, so now we're knocking on all-time highs. Can we get there today? I don't think we can get, maybe it's possible. But we're going to need another 2 points, close to 3 point. Do we have a 3-point push left in us? If we continue to grind higher, we still have time left, but we'll see. And let's go back to the game plan chart. So keep in mind, our focus is not, our focus is contained to the intraday. All right? We live in the intraday. We exist in the intraday. All right. So what happens outside of the intraday, I just bring to your attention. All right. The levels come from everything outside of the intraday, higher time frames. But what happens on the higher time frames, okay, is not going to give us the entries. It's going to give us just the ideas. Right. But your primary focus is intraday. So now you can see this break. Once we held above that territory, we continue to expand. And this was the runway. runway, the way I define runway, okay, is the space or area between 2 points where there's minimal significant key levels or pivots. So minimal friction between 2 points. So when I mean by minimal, because the way I define key levels, every level is not a key level. There's levels all over. There's tons of levels everywhere on the chart. All right, but there's minimal traffic once we clear out that territory. Now we're above that prior shift high. So this is an expansion type of profile. See you tomorrow. High Ho Silver take long at that 10-minute. Thanks for the insight. Absolutely, guys. If you're done, don't look at your old contracts and start getting FOMO. Okay, that's something you're gonna have to learn to deal with. VIX continues to fall off a cliff. Any questions on YouTube, guys? Any questions on YouTube? Any questions on YouTube? We've got no more questions. We'll look to wrap up on YouTube in just a few minutes here. For the folks on Google Meets and our Discord, Spy Strikers will continue to go. Maybe be in and out. Right. The kiddos are home. So if you're looking for pullbacks, just use the waves. If you're done, you don't have to do anything from this point on. Okay, so the objective was met today. 695, of course, that's there, along with first shift, second shift highs. And what a day, guys. This thing is off to the races. Off to the races. So look at the trickery, okay? Gap down, okay, to shift the sentiment. Okay, we only know what the intentions of the market is after the fact, of course, but just look at the maneuver. So they gap it down to pump it up. So all the longs in pre-market, right, maybe got shaken out, maybe they flip bias.
Return is $3 for a dollar risk, so you get $750 in return for $250 of risk.
Those Oracle contracts are up 180%. Oracle, not Oracle. Palantir. Okay, the Qs have not even come back. The Qs, look at the QQQ, guys. Qs are just out of here. Same thing with the Qs, okay? Anytime we come into that 50, 100 EMA, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 days in a row. So this is still early. Okay, so nice touch of that 100 EMA once again. So again, like I was just saying, it's still early. Okay, it doesn't mean just buy it off the top, but it's still relatively early, bigger picture. We did not reverse yet on the Qs. We still got that weekly doji. So the Qs, unlike SPY, we have this doji we need to overcome on the weekly. Let's take a look at the sectors real quick. And then we'll look to wrap up. XLE, the sectors I had my focus on was XLV. XLV. Healthcare did break those highs, didn't expand quite yet. Still inside. That broader range. XLC. XLC still inside. Nice bounce off that 50. XLK, so we're starting to see some rotation. XLK is inside, but nice bounce on XLK on the daily off that 50 EMA. SMH, nice bounce on SMH as well. 212 off of this previous resistance, turn support 20 MA. So we're seeing the semiconductor names start to run. Nvidia is above 190, back-to-back days. Not TSM, not Tesla. Where's TSM? TSM's up 2%. Nice 212 on TSM. TSM just made all-time highs. Okay, I believe TSM made all-time highs. Yep, TSM's at all-time highs. So rotation back into semiconductors. Okay, so does this mean rotation out of the Dow? Let's take a look at Walmart. So initially, we saw money in the staples. Okay, we're starting to see some of the money come out of the staples, named in the Dow, and start to rotate. So now let's see that rotation story can continue, and Walmart is due for a pullback. So this was the territory to get involved on Walmart. Look at this break. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 consecutive days. And then it continued to push higher. So still early, but we're seeing this rotation take place on a Monday. Now is there some follow-through behind this rotation becomes a question. Google is inside. Did break those lows. If we can go hammer going into next week, going into tomorrow looks interesting. Robinhood up 5% today. Back-to-back continuation. Nice bounce off that 365 EMA. Amazon. Okay. Inside day on Amazon. Keep a close eye on Amazon for the next 4 hours. There might be something there. Amazon got beat up last week, so it needs to retrace into that gap at some point in time. The gap down from Thursday. Netflix, we're talking about that. Meta, starting to catch a bid there off of that 50. We're seeing JPM relatively flat. And that's basically what we got so far. Basically what we got so far. There we go. Look at the waves. Waves are waving. Spy flies, Apple barely moves. Yeah, Apple just does its own thing. If you recall, Apple was pumping last week when Spy was dumping on those days. I'm gonna take this off since it's all jacked up. Yeah, Apple kind of does its own thing. Any questions, guys, as we wrap up? Folks on YouTube. Again, guys, thank you for tuning in today. Hopefully you found value. Make sure to like the video. Make sure to subscribe. We'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, same place. If you're looking to level up, join our community. We'll see you at 9 a.m. When you do join, you automatically get access right away. All the links are in the description, pinned in the chat. Again, thank you for tuning in, guys, on YouTube. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, and God bless each one of you.
Tired of wasting hours staring at charts, over-analyzing trades, and still ending the day with inconsistent results? You're not alone. That's exactly why the Spy Strikers Trading Mentorship Discord community was created. Here, you can trade just one ticker for 1 hour and make strides towards consistent results. Join the Spy Strikers community and get daily live trading, clear pre-market game plans with key levels and high probability buy and sell zones, over 4 hours of delay-free, ad-free live trading and training, plus high win rate trade alerts, automated technicals that simplify charts, and full access to my strategies and indicators. This isn't a signal service. It's a community focused on process over profits, giving you all the resources, guidance, and training to help you succeed. You'll also get a full watch list, 1,500 plus hours of live trading videos, courses, an educational library, ebooks, and dedicated support. Stop guessing. Start trading with confidence. Become a Spy Striker today, and take your trading to the next level. Tired?
$1,550 per spread. It's trading over 16, as Kevin mentioned, because the stock's moved higher. Stock was down at $412 earlier, so it moves higher, so that expands the price of this. But you can see here from the risk profile, it takes your break even up to 435.50 to the upside, maybe 436 if you have to pay a little bit more. That's less than 3.5% above the current share price of $420 in there. So you don't need a massive move to the upside. And as Kevin mentioned, you can see here, your profitability goes down after you hit that 470 strike where you're short two options. But even above the 480 strike, it's more than a double in profitability compared to the amount of risk that you have in here. Now, we always talk about butterflies. It takes a while for those to expand. As you get closer to expiration is where you're going to see the real expansion. But if you get a move up at or near 470 or so, that's what you're looking for. It can expand relatively quickly just due to the price action of the shares. The option market pricing in about plus or minus $39 move either way. So that getting close to that 470 strike as far as the one standard deviation. So Kevin, I looked at something because, you know, it might be oversold at this point. We're seeing a little bit of volatility here today. I looked at something a little bit more passive where I don't need a move in my direction to take a bearish stance on this as an example trade if you're a little bit more neutral to bearish. So I went out to the February 20th monthly cycle, so just 11